Coke Machine for Go Fishing. Welcome to the very first evening bite with the Coke Machine. So, here's what's going on. I'm out here at Rob's 5-Star Fishing, and I have been out here since about 1 or 2. I'm testing out this Yo camera at the same time, and that will be on the screen as well as my fish finder. And so far, right off the bat, I caught a nice, little hammer-handled pike. I saw him come in on the camera. You know, he looked at things, and then eventually he grabbed a hold of my minnow clapper that I had down there, because I'm really testing these minnow clappers out today. He grabbed a hold of that, and then it was actually on my little trigger stick thing. You know, it's like one of these jaw jacker style things. And boom, fish on. He grabbed it, and I reeled him up. And I've seen a few fish on my camera so far. There's been quite a few looky-loos that are coming in that I see both on my camera and on my fish finder, who have come and taken a close look at everything. Had a couple minnows stolen already. Saw a herring, perch, walleye. So far I've caught 1 pike, 1 perch, and 1 walleye. And I couldn't get the herring to latch on. I guess he wasn't hungry today, or he had his fill of snails or whatever they eat down there. So basically what's going to happen here is we are all going to sit here in this hut, and we're going to catch the evening bite. So the sun sets at just after 5, and I'm going to be sitting here fishing until, I think the guys here said they'd pick me up at dark. So hopefully that'll be, half an hour after the sun goes down, and it's going to be a hot bite. So I'm just, there's a fish. I've had quite a few of these fish actually come and look at my camera and bump the camera, because the camera for the Yo is only like this little wee silver thing that's like this big. It's a nice light setup. I can say that's what I like about it. With the LED on, it definitely is so strong that you can't see anything, because all the little bits are all illuminated, which is the same problem I had with my Markham 485C. I think I'm going to catch a fish here. There we go. All right, we got I think this is a walleye. There we go. So I saw him come in. Come on, relax. Come in on my camera there. He's probably 14, 15. So let's get him off the hook here. A bit tangled up. Yeah, man. All right. Yeah, 14, 15-incher throwback, obviously. Off he goes. The perch that I caught earlier was there are 2 jumbos. They're probably like 9, I'd say. Nothing crazy. Like, they weren't crazy jumpers. Oh, looks like we got a guest showing up here. So, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. We just started the live broadcast here.
Awesome.
And I just caught a fish.
Good catching?
I caught a pike, a couple of perch, and another walleye earlier. They've been sort of slow, like light bites, but definitely they're down there, and I can see them on my camera. And
camera's working. You're marking some fish.
Yep, yep. They're down there as we speak.
Awesome. Enjoy. We'll see you 5:30 or so.
Perfect.
Enjoy, dude.
Yeah, we'll see you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my hands on another very lively minnow. One thing I've been watching with the minnow clapper there underneath the water is that when the minnow really gets going, you can see these blades like really start tapping on the side of this. So what this is basically just a reorganized spinner. It's I wouldn't use it like a spinner because it would probably just tangle everything up because it doesn't have a clevis. It just has, I know, the ring here, and the blades just sort of swing freely on that. So somebody asked how deep. Gennaro De Luca says how deep. It's only 15.2 here, so it's not too deep. I was actually expecting it to be deeper, but from every operator I've been talking to, they're saying that everybody's catching fish fairly shallow right now. All right. So, I'm gonna start with very lively minnow clapper style. Let's go underneath the dorsal fin there, and then you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it rattling away. There's a glass bead in there, and I glowed up the glow ball that's on there. All right, and on the other one, I have a micro minnow clapper there. You know, if anybody goes to my Minnow Clapper store, you'll notice that I'm running very, very low on just about everything, but I just got a new supply of gear. I just have to sit down and spin up a bunch more to get some more in production here. But until then, I'll probably have a bunch more by the weekend. So, I had I was actually using my trigger mechanism there, which is like the jaw jacker, but I could see the fish had the lure in his mouth on my camera, so I actually triggered it myself because it wasn't triggering the thing. I guess he had the mouth or the thing in his mouth very lightly. So anyway, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and let's see, make sure that's on camera. It's good about the underwater camera there is you can see where your lure is. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around so you guys can see what we're looking at here, and so not just all backlit. So you can see on the left there, I've got the IOO camera, and so far it's been pretty good. You know, it's like it's got a graininess, but you can see the fish, and that has a lot to do with the lighting. I can give you like a demonstration here of just of how bright the LED is when it's on, and sorry, I'm just crunching up a minnow here. So the underwater camera there is like I find on this lake it's always hit and miss. Some days are like grainier or filled with more debris than others. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring this a little bit closer here. All right, so yeah, let's turn on the LED, which in this camera is actually a plug. So take a look at that IOO thing there. You can see all those little orbs floating around, which I assume are some kind of debris. And on the bottom of the camera, they have this setup that is actually used to, like you can attach a hook to it so you can see a fish come right up to it and grab it. But it really attracts the LED. This is it right here. And it's just a wire, but boy, does it light up on the screen. I was thinking of maybe trying to figure out if I could remove it or possibly just like bend it out of the way, something like that. But my lure is somewhere back in there and you can't see it. But when you turn off the LED, let's see if you can see it back there. The other problem is that as the sun goes down, it's like you're less able to see these things. And I think, as I recall from playing with this before, there's like, I think the brightness is okay for now. As it gets darker, it's going to be a bit of a scene. So I'm going to fire down the old Minnow Clapper with just a minnow head on here. I just saw a Minnow Clapper order come in on the screen there. That's good. Like I said, like if you look in the future, I'll be posting a bunch more. Like I sold a bunch of them already, and I'm seeing some pictures of people catching fish on them. I think, everybody knows that walleye like spinners, and Minnow Clapper isn't so different from that. So, just going to let my stuff sort of dead stick here, and then see if I can no longer see. I can sort of see in the middle of the screen here where you can see you can see a bit of the lure. It just looks like a black dot at the moment, and as the sun goes down, it's gonna get worse. So yeah, this hold on a second here. You guys look at that other screen there for a second, and I will try to remember how to get the brightness down on this thing. Oops. Okay. As I recall, this thing works much better with the brightness down really low for live stream stuff. Just gonna tell you guys straight out. Let's see if that's bright enough for you. There's definitely a fish down there. And he took a good close look at my rig. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it a little bit better here. So we're 15.2 feet. Kind of wish I had a curtain behind me, but I'll try to block it with my face, with my beard. So you can see there's a fish down there taking a look. And you'll probably, like, the thing I've seen with this camera here is that it tends to be, especially as it gets darker, you just sort of see like a dark shape, and that's the fish there. But like I said, like I showed you guys, when the LED's on, it's blinding how much stuff is in the way. Okay, so there's definitely a fish down underneath my fish finder here. So I'm trying to coax him in. There's been a couple of fish that I've caught where it's been I've had to really work on them. So I'm trying out some of this Berkeley ice braid. I usually consider these braids to be somewhat useless. But I'm like, well, I might as well give one of these ice braid a run. Because usually I'm like, when I say useless, I think I'm just thinking like, well, I can buy, 3 times as much regular braid line for the same price. Oh, I had a tap. For the same price. And then they have these ice braids, and then some people swear by them, and I don't. I haven't really given them a good shot, I guess. So today I'm going to give it a good shot on this one lure, or this one rod, and see how it plays. Pretty sure they just heisted my minnow there. I definitely felt a little taparoo there, and then boom. I swear. I think there's a little perch down here. And I feel like there might be See, a lot of times with these underwater cameras, you can see there's a perch right here. You can probably just see a dark shape. And in clear water, it's probably amazing. But on Nipissing here, like when you have the LED down, I had it like way, way, way down. Like right at the bottom, and I got a very good look at all the clams, all the clams that are down there. So this guy on the right, on the fish finder here, he definitely took my minnow off, or I had a minnow head on. Okay, just gonna put the tail of that minnow on and see if I can get some action that way. So I feel like maybe this is the most amount of people we've had on a stream in a while, aside from some of the live streams of the report of the ice. So boy, I've heard a lot of stuff about ice. About slush in different places. Man, I do not like slush, and I am definitely not the only person. I think it's just such a rough scene. So I saw right here somebody, Jonathan Verdeman, says that a truck broke through. That sucks. It's funny because it's so unpredictable, the thickness out there, that doesn't surprise me. I was kind of expecting more, to hear about more stuff like that with the way this season has unfolded with the ice, but I guess it's starting with people trying to do stuff where the ice isn't quite ready yet. I'm just going through some of the comments here. So Rivers 2002. Hey Coke, just got the Garmin Striker for myself. Was wondering which way the transducer is supposed to face for best readings. Yeah, you should. The bottom of the transducer should be parallel to the bottom of the lake. So you want to try to get it as flat as you possibly can. I used to use the transducer that you use for your boat when I was ice fishing, and I can tell you that it worked well. It worked fine, but I did make the switch to the ice fishing transducer specifically, and that one, it's made of like the wire is made of like much more supple wire, and the sensor is sort of made to hang, like, so it hangs straight no matter what. So I like it, and definitely in cold weather, that hanging straight down transducer is pretty nice. So this is like the first Minnow Clapper I put together, the classic. I saved a few to use myself, but I had to I had to ship most of them off from orders. So let's see if we can get some more fish in here. You always forget to bring some sort of a rag for after you've handled fish or handled minnows. It's one of those rough first run scenarios. So I got a lively minnow on there, and I've got classic clapper, no glow on this one. Oh, here we go. Oh, straight down the hole. Straight down the hole. Come on. There we go. All right. This one looks a little meatier than the last one. All right. So before it hit the bottom, the old clapperoo got him in there. I'd give this guy, I don't know, 16 and maybe 15. I give him a 15. I should be measuring these guys, but for the sake of the broadcast here, I'm trying to do things kind of quickly. Okay, as I recall, there we go. I got to switch the camera back and forth a couple times, and then because sometimes it's zoomed in, sometimes it's not. So as I recall, I believe the measurement of keeper fish here is 40 to 45 centimeters. Okay. 1 second here. All right. Back in the mix. So it seems like there's some eyes coming in out there. And it seems like this lure is working out. I'm pretty happy about it, to be honest with you. I've made like a lot of lures throughout my life. When I was a younger man, I used to dream about selling lures and stuff like that. I bought all these kits for making stuff. I even had a line of spoons that I created, made all these videos for, and then just more or less abandoned. And then this year, after, t-shirts and stuff like that were sort of became too expensive to make, I was like, I liked making, like, the hats were okay as well to make. I definitely enjoyed designing the shirts and all that stuff. And then this year I was like, I'll put together a lure. And a lot of times, like, what I guess I had been doing, what sort of inspired it was I used to use spinners, like a Panther Martin, in the same kind of way, because the blade like claps against the weight in the middle when you use it for jigging, like ice fishing style. It's kind of an irregular thing to use a spinner as a jigging lure, but I'd been playing with it. And then when I thought of the Minnow Clapper, I was just trying to make it noisier. And then that's what I did. Looks like we got a fish looking at it. I tell you, some of these fish that have been around here, they come in real aggressive, look real hard, and then disappear. On my camera there, that happened a few times. So I'm just gonna let this dead stick for a second and let that fish figure out what he wants to do. Just gonna go through some more comments here. So species 8472, you said the braid's good in the hut, no good outside. Do you mean like the ice braid, or do you mean like regular old braid? Because I haven't had a chance to test out this ice braid outside. I know another one I got said it was hydrophobic, which I could see working out, but so Andy McCudden, you're going to Chili Willy's. I've met the Chili Willy's people. I've never been to their place myself. Phil S. What's the ice thickness like? Around here was actually where I measured the ice thickness for the ice thickness competition, so I'm gonna say it's got to be 9 or 10 by now. Okay, we got a guy on the right here. Come on, I thought he had it for a second. Ah. You know what's awesome is when there's like multiple fish and they're in a race to get your thing. That's when you get that kind of. He's really looking at it. Come on. Grab it. Okay, there's 2 fish down there. Sometimes I feel like you just gotta park your rod for a second and watch the tip. So I can definitely see the minnows shaking it up down there. Just waiting for it to sink. All right. So it's funny because on the camera you can see the Ioyo a little bit better than I can see because of the angle that I've got it at. The one other thing with the Ioyo that I found was a slight problem was just that the screen is heavy, so if the battery's not in here, it'll fall right back, and it's a little bit off balance. But I must say that most likely, because I have the Markham 485C, there's a really good chance that I would take this one out over that one, over the 485C, just because this is so much more compact and lighter, and I like that. Any of these cameras, though, it can be really tricky sometimes to figure out where your lure is if it's not crystal clear water. I usually put on the biggest lure I got and then really jig it around. And you guys might be able to see, I'll just show you on my, I did have a camera rotator, and then my son threw the fob down the fishing hole one day. So I'm kind of boned in that respect. However, the bottom of this tripod has a little hook on it. And so I basically just loosely attached it to the bottom. And then I just turned the whole tripod around, and that's how I can rotate the camera. It works really well. A guy once showed me how to do it with a coat hanger, similar kind of idea. So I won't necessarily be working these Minnow Clappers all night long, but if they do work, then I'll keep working them. But if I'm getting a lot of looky-loos and who are not coming in, I'll try some of my other non-Coke machine made lures. Of course, I really want the Minnow Clappers to work, and this guy's all over it. You can see on the right here, all over it, looking at it. So I'll let it sit again. Yeah, it's nice out here. It was very cold last night, -18. And this morning it was like strikingly cold. It's what I would call a beard freezer. So, nothing wrong with that. But it definitely is noticeably cold. I wish we could go back in time and take the cold from the last couple of days and, bring it to like late December there and get all the ice on the lake quick. But unfortunately, it's not the way the world works. Yeah, so I got out here around 1:15, and I met the 5-star crew, and then they ripped me out here in the side-by-side people mover. pretty fun. Got out here. I understand people were doing pretty well in this very hot last night. So hopefully, I imagine with some of that -18 temperatures that maybe that affected some things as far as fish were concerned. But I've definitely seen some fish come in on the camera here. And they're definitely underneath my lure as we speak. I got this buckshot rattle spoon. That's another absolute favorite of mine. Since this fish seems to not want to go with my minnow clapper, let's try a buckshot spoon. Oops. Okay. Sometimes you can't go wrong with those buckshot spoons. So is anyone else out here that's watching right now? Is anyone else here at Rob's 5-star tonight? All right, got the buckshot rattle spoon heading down. It's in, where's this color? Wonder Bread style. That's what they call it. I do really enjoy these buckshot rattle spoons. They're definitely one of my. Oh, I definitely had a bump right there. Sometimes I swear, changing your lure can really just, when these fish are just watching, and then, they don't seem to be biting anything, throwing something fresh down that they haven't looked at yet can sometimes make a big difference. So the bump I felt was them stealing my minnow, as they do. All right, got a nice juicy minnow here. All right. Get the old buckshot rattle spoon. Get the minnow on there. I know lots of people rig them up differently. So I think they told me there's lights in here. So if it starts getting dark, I'll definitely fire those lights on. We're definitely getting to the sunset going on here. Okay. So I left my favorite ice fishing rod at my dad's. It's like for some reason I decided I was going to put it in he's got one of these containers, and I just needed to clear some stuff out of my car for a minute, or my truck. And then all of a sudden I forgot it, and then the chances of me getting that back for the end of the ice season is pretty slim. So I'll be using my other rods. The one rod I like is a medium heavy, and I got a Fluger President ice reel on it, and I really like it. But what I got here, this one's a medium heavy Masuda rod. It's not medium heavy, it's just medium. And the reel is the Fluger Monarch, which is all right. I feel it's sort of like the one below the President. Not sure if I see any fish on the camera anymore. There's definitely a guy down here. He definitely got a full meal of my minnow. So probably what I'll do is I'll be fishing till about 5:20. I think they said they'd be picking me up at 5:30 here. Yeah, let's get this. I've heard about some people having some pretty good days over the last bit, which is awesome. We'll see. We'll see when I can get out next. I think next week I'm planning on going to South River Resort for a night. Steve invited me, and I was planning on taking the wife and kid for a night of overnighting. And Todd at Snowfari came across me at parking lot in the Sobeys parking lot in North Bay here, and he invited me to come out with them at some point, so I might do that as well. And then I just got a message from a dude. I don't recall his name at the moment, but he said he wanted me to come out fish with him at some point. So we'll see if we can make that happen. Oh, turned on. It's got automatic brightness. All right. Oh, there we go. Oh, double whammy. Oh, okay, I think. Okay. So, all right. So, fish number one, the fish I got here. Sorry, guys, give me a second. He wrapped up my other line. I think. Nice looking fish. All right. Let's get him off the hook here. I'll show him to you. He looks a little bigger. Yeah, so he set off my other rod. All right, so let's give this guy definitely a 16. Let's check it out. I'll go over to the old measurement gizmo over there. All right. So it's about 42 centimeters. But I'm gonna let him go. Whoops. Okay. So he's got a bit of a scene going on here. He's flopped up on the ice. All right, let me get the camera out of the way here. Give me a sec. Wow. All right. Down he goes. Well, that was exciting. I guess that guy was dreaming of being in the pan, I guess. All right, let's see if I can fix everything here. Now it's all got tangled up. So let's see. All right, so this Minnow Clapper's going back down. That's the dead stick. So that guy just came right in and caught on everything. Hit hard enough. So that guy was 42 centimeters. Which I think we normally classify as a keeper. put the lure back down here. All right, and turn you back onto the cameras or the stuff here. Yep, gotta love those buckshot rattle spoons. I think I'm gonna go ahead and fire on another minnow clapper though, just in case there's some real hungry guys down there. So. Okay. Nice juicy minnow. So I think the underwater camera is pretty much out of commission now. I mean, I can try to put on the light. You can see what happens. All right. Let's try that again. Yeah, that guy was almost going underneath the whole. So let's see. Or he was like underneath the hut there. So let's see if we turn the brightness way down. If we can see some more things or not. I'm sure to you. It's much. I can see it much more than you guys can because I can. Well, from what I can see through the camera here, it looks like you guys can't really see much of anything. All right, so 5:07. We caught 3 walleye during the live stream here, so that's great. And then I caught 2 perch earlier, 2 jumbo perch. So nothing wrong with that. All right, got the clapper down there, 2 different clappers down there. And I don't think this is going to improve for us here, unfortunately. It's just too bright. I don't know how to make it. Like the brightness obviously is turned way down. So I don't know if that's worth even keeping on at this point unless something swims right into it. I'm just going to go looking through the comments here. Joe Alman says, "Hey Coke, shout out to Elrod Fahad." Yeah, I'm finally on the hard water. Looking forward to getting my fish on more often. I'll probably end up going a lot in the mornings after shift, which is something I did a lot last year. I got my clam flip up hut ready to fly. That's always nice. I will definitely, Rob, I'll check your order when I get home and possibly ship that off for you tomorrow. Fahad, that's a really nice thing to say. He said, "I hope you catch a lot of fish. You're the most deserving person on that lake, buddy." Thanks. I hope it's true. I hope this is going to be a wild season. So Thunder Mist, Evo, he's got a rag on a clasp. That's genius. I love that guy. I think everybody does. He's always got such a good vibe, and he's always, no matter where he's fishing, whether it's on the bank, on the shore, he's just bringing the good vibes to the scene. So I appreciate Evo from Thunder Mist Lures, and I definitely see why he's got as many subscribers as he does on YouTube there. All right, we got a fish looking. I'm clapping the clapper. Well, basically what I'm trying to do is just really just a lot of times it helps when you kind of picture, or you try to do this like in the open air before you get under the water and just see what makes the blades clap together. It doesn't take much. That's one thing I learned from underwater cameras and using the vibrato, is that, boy, to get that thing vibrating, it takes next to nothing. It just starts going. Boy, my Ioyo here just looks like some sort of, like one of those Windows inactive screen things. It's like these little bits flying around. I was watching this one walleye that came in earlier today, and he looked at my lure and was sort of like, nah. And then I pulled it up like a foot, and he was right on it, just followed it right up a foot and was just staring at it. And it took a lot of to get him to finally bite, and then he did. All right. So Nick, greetings from Waterloo. Thanks for all you do, Coke Machine. Thanks a lot, Nick. Appreciate it. Fahad, Rob's 5-star is like in the channel on the way out of Calendar Bay, as I recall. It's just outside of it. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely. How's the bite been? Rob's definitely put you on the fish. There's definitely fish here. I've seen them on my camera. They might not be today the hungriest fish, but I feel like recently they were super hungry. I got 2 fish right here, just coming through. Might try one of my lighter. See, one thing I didn't think about is that I use my phone to charge my glow lures, but since I'm live streaming, I can't do that. I made a couple of the Minnow Clappers just from old blades I had, not old like used, but just like a stash of blades I had, and I called it the Ling Slayer. Because it was big profile blades, and then all glow. Everything's glow. The idea of, for those people who get out to get the big burbits. And of course, the Ling Slayer is a reference to Game of Thrones and the King Slayer. But all right, I'm gonna try. See how we're sort of getting down to the last bit of this live stream. It's funny how it goes, once you get going with the live stream, it doesn't. You think, oh, it's an hour, and you're like, oh, a whole hour. And then next thing you know, the hour is almost over, and you're thinking like, wow, I can't believe this hour is almost over already. All right, so I'm gonna throw down one of my micro clappers. the whole idea with this one is it's using fly tying beads that are super light. I got 2 of them on there though, and the idea is that it's just super small. Like when I was putting all this stuff together, I was thinking it just like a dead stick thing, just to like add a bit of flash to your dead stick lines. And so this sort of acts as like a sinker. But I could see if you're in deeper water how it might be of value to put like a split shot, like maybe 18 inches up the line from this, because I could see how if you're in super deep water, it'd be like you can see it going down. So it's, it sinks. That's for sure. All right, we're on the bottom. There's a fish looking at it as we speak. Come on. It's another case of some looky-loos showing up and peeking at your lure, but never quite grabbing it. So I think I might try to turn on the lights here. Maybe it's not too bad for you guys, I don't think, is it? Man, this fish is just looking right at my stuff and just not going for it. So Russell Lamb, hey Coke, watching you while I foe the dishes. I think I understand. How's the bite? I'll be there February 1 to 4 and 15 to 18th on Sunset Point. I assume you're going out with, what's the operator out there? I apologize if he's watching right now because I know his name is just out of my mind. I'm too focused on this one fish who keeps hassling me down there. Let's see if I can. Sometimes you flip it back and forth, sort of zooms in a little. Oh, there we go. All right, this guy feels half decent. All right, easy there, easy there. Okay. All right. So this guy came on the mini clapper here with glow. I would definitely say this guy's probably a keeper, but I don't think I'm going to be keeping anything tonight, and maybe I'm making a bad decision on that. I caught a few fish in on the Ottawa River in the fall, and I need to cook them up. So I'm just going to go measure this guy over here at the weigh measure station, see where he's at. Okay, so squeeze the tail. So this guy is 42 centimeters. All right, so he's a 42 centimeter fish. I'm gonna put him back in the hole for good luck in the future. So that guy's about the same size as the other one I caught. Sometimes, I don't know how you guys feel. Sometimes I throw back fish because I think it's gonna bring me more luck in the future. Maybe it's just a superstition. Okay, so I'm just gonna so we're just about out of time. It's hard for me to, It's gonna be hard for me to turn it in, so I'm just gonna go ahead, keep fishing. Okay. Sorry, getting an ultra close up of my beard. I'm just trying to use the IOYO slightly to illuminate my glow bead. You know, I hope that Rob's 5-star has me out again in the future, because I feel like this is turning out pretty good. All right, so down goes my Minnow Clapper Micro Glow. You know, when I came up, when I put this lure together, because like I said, I was using just like Panther Martin spinners to do pretty much the same thing before. I'm not like the wizard of fishing. I would never say I am, but when you got a lure that's working, and sometimes a lot of times when the bite was really quiet, using the Panther Martin spinner in the same way that I'd use the clapper here, it was always something that I feel like the fish didn't see a lot of. So sometimes that's what works when fish are heavily pressured and stuff. I'm going to turn on the light here so I don't trip all over myself. Huh. So they told me the lights worked, but maybe I should have brought my headlamp. Huh. Maybe there's a... That's alright. I usually bring headlamps, but this is my rough first run. I'll do better next time as far as keeping illumination in mind. Let's see if we can put one more fish above water before I gotta go. Just checking out some of the comments. So, did anybody answer if anyone else was out at Rob's 5-star as we speak? I'm always wondering if people are in my same area, getting their fish on. Like I've always had a plan. Jamie Berry, you just said you probably bring a ton of customers and traffic to all the outfitters with your videos. Yeah, I think I've had quite a few people tell me that they had never been to Nipissing and they came because they saw the ice reports and whatnot. And that's cool, you know. As well, like every year I have all these plans. Like I'm gonna call up all the operators and try to do all my live streams with different operators, and then once the ice reports hit, it's almost like when you're in university or college and it's like cram season, and then basically the cram season lasts for 2 months, and then by the end of it you're like, oh, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that, and I forgot to do this too. Luckily I've made a few contacts. I've definitely have like lots of contacts with a few of the different operators, like South River Resort. I'm in contact with those guys. Obviously I ran into Todd from Snowfari and Rob's 5-star here. They got me out here, and hopefully they'll have me out here again. And then as well, is it Ice Fishing Condos? Is that Diane Young and Brady? I've interacted with them a couple times. I delivered a Minnow Clapper package to Greening Bay today. I had never been there. I don't know if anybody else likes to fish with those guys. So I think, and 524. So anyway, I probably should start wrapping it up here and getting my gear together. Oops. So that I can be ready for when these guys show up. As much as I'd like to just keep fishing. It's like I don't want to waste these guys' time. Watch me put all my gear away. All right, come on, fish. Just 2 more minutes. I see one down there. Come on. Boy, when I first got into the hut today, it was cooking. I showed up here with my snow pants on, big jacket, and I got in the hut and I just had to strip down right away. I don't mean to my undies, okay? I just mean to my civilian clothes, as I call them. All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to shut this down while I can still see. Next time I'll bring my headlamp, and then we'll go from there. You know, it's good that this was all on live stream and that there's been live stream fishing like and whatnot. But I've got my action camera here, but because all the action has been on the live stream, I forgot to hold the fish in front of the action camera. It should show them come out of the hole and stuff. So I might make a video in the future of some of the fish I caught here, and I might not. Sometimes it's good just to let the live stream be as it is. Anyway, so I hope everybody's had a good night, and I will talk to you guys soon. I will probably be doing another live stream next week. We'll see, but this has been pretty fun, and we got some fish. So we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night.